Question number 10 from section 5.1 is solving the system of equations where you have three equations with three variables. I'm going to use the elimination method, and you're going to combine the equations to get opposite x's, opposite y's, or opposite z's, and it's going to involve quite a few steps. So I'm going to label the equations. I'm going to label them A, B, and C. Because when you're combining these, you want to make sure you use all of the equations when you're solving the system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine to get opposite x terms first. And I can take equation A and equation C because they already have opposite x terms. And I'm going to write them, line them up so that the x, y's, and z's equals and everything's are lined up. And I'm going to add those two together. It's using the elimination method. So I take equation A and equation C, since they already have opposite x's, I'm going to add those two together. When you take a negative x, a positive x with a negative x and negative x is 0. 1 plus y plus 9y is 10y. The plus z and a minus 3z is minus 2z. And 8 plus 46 is 54. So by combining equations A and C, I get a new equation that doesn't have an x in it. I'm going to label that equation D. So equation A, B, C to start off with. I combine A and C to get an equation that only has y and z in it. So I've eliminated the x terms. Now I want to take equation B. We haven't used equation B yet. I'm going to take equation B and combine it with either equation A or C. I'm going to do it with equation C, but I still want to get opposite x terms. So I'm going to take equation B and combine it with 2 times equation C. So let's do that here. Equation C, if I multiply the whole equation C by 2, negative x plus 9y minus 3z equals 46. And we multiply that by 2 as well. And equation B was 2x plus 4y plus 2z equals 28. I wanted to get opposite x terms, so that what I needed to do was multiply the whole C equation by 2. So now I have my equations where I take the B equation, which was 2x plus 4y plus 2z equals 28, and I'm going to add it to 2C equations. So if we distribute the C, I get negative 2x plus 18y minus 6z equals 46 times 2, which is 92. That's 2 times the C equation. I'm going to add those together. Again, I got opposite x's by combining B with 2 times C, and you get x, the x's will cancel out, and we get 4y plus 18y is 22y. 2z minus 6z is minus 4z equals 28 plus 92, which is equal to 120. So this is another new equation. I'm going to label it equation E. Now I'm going to combine equation D with equation E. Equation D was 10y minus 2z equals 54, and equation E is 22y minus 4z equals 120. Now here I want to get opposite y terms or opposite z terms. The way you can get opposite terms here is by multiplying the whole first equation here, equation D, if I multiply that by a -2 on both sides, I'm going to get opposite z's. So what that is going to look like is -2 times 10y is -20y. -2 times -2z is plus 4z. And 54 times -2 is -108. I'm going to combine that with equation E. Just move equation E over to get 22y minus 4z equals 120. Now I have opposite z's. See how these are opposites? Now I got opposite x's when I combine A and C. I got opposite x's when I combine B and C. Now I'm getting opposite z's. When you combine those equations, you get -20y plus 22y is 2y. The plus 4z and the minus 4z will cancel out. And then when you combine -108 plus 120, you get 12. We're going to divide by 2 to get y. Divide by 2 to get y equals 6. That is part of your answer. You're going to take y equals 6 and you're going to plug that into either equation D or equation E. If I plug it into equation E, I'm going to get 22 times the y is 6 minus 4z equals 120. Let's simplify this. 22 times 6 is 132 minus 4z equals 120. I'm going to subtract 132 from both sides, and I get -4z equals 120 minus 132 equals -12. And when you divide by -4 on both sides, you get z equals 3. Okay, now I'm going to take the z equals 3 and the y equals 6 and plug it into one of the original equations. I'm going to plug it back into the original equation A. The original equation A was x plus y plus z equals 8. Now if I know what y is 6, and I know z is 3, I can solve this equation to get x plus 9 equals 8. Subtract 9 from both sides to get x equals -1. So now I have my 3 solutions here for x, y, and z. The solution, put them all in order, is in the form x comma y comma z, which is -1 comma 6 comma 3. That's the solution to the system of equations where you have 3 equations, 3 variables. You pair them up using the elimination method. I paired up A and C to get opposite x's. I paired up B and C to get opposite x's and come up with 2 brand new equations, D and E, that only have y's and z's. I combine those to get opposite z's and use that to solve for y. Plug it back in to get z, plug it back in again to get x. Let's write our solution as -1, 6, 3.